Hello friends, it has been quite a while since we've received the first email request to build in the Nouvolo Steck using the top hat, and behold, the day has finally arrived. The Steck is a very interesting case, a budget variant of the Lock Ghost S1 that manages to bring the small form factor to a bigger audience by trading part of the build quality and materials in the process. Using the top hat opens up a lot of options when it comes to cooling and/or extra storage. You also have the option of using more than one hat, so you could add extra space to the bottom of the case, to the top, or both. In this build, we are going with a 240mm radiator that will greatly improve cooling, which is always a sensitive topic in the SFF world. For the most part, the components will be familiar to you from our previous videos, but there is a twist though. The CPU we use is the Ryzen 3700X paired with the X470 Asus Strix motherboard. System memory will be provided by two 16GB Corsair Vengeance LPX modules. The graphical power will be ensured by the Asrock Founders Edition Radeon RX 5700. The storage is taken care of by the Samsung Evo 512GB NVMe drive, and finally everything is powered by the SF600 from Corsair. We think these parts are very close to the optimal price to performance ratio, a rather important aspect for this particular build. The important job of cooling the 3700X is performed by the NZXT X52 AIO paired with Noctua coolers. And useful information we want to share here is that we initially wanted to test the ROG Strix RX 5500 XT, a great choice for a 1080p gaming budget build, but disappointingly it does not fit in the Steck. We then turned to the Red Dragon 5700 XT from PowerColor, but alas, this one was too tall. We consulted with Nouvolo on the matter and found out that the Steck would only fit the non-OC version of PowerColor's Radeon RX 5700 XT and Founders Edition variants of the 5700 XT. A bit of a letdown, yes, but a rather normal occurrence in the SFF world though. We added some links in the description that should help you avoid a situation like this. And so we came to the Asrock Founders Edition, the only Founders Edition 5700 XT we found in stock in local stores at the time of filming. A splendid card from an aesthetics point of view, yet a mediocre card in all other aspects. The card presented artifacts and benchmarks and got pretty toasty in tests, but considering the form factor and the impractical fan solution it uses, we'll consider it average. Speaking of thermal performance, let's move to the CPU side of things. The NZXT X52 is a really pretty AIO. The CPU cooling unit comes with a mirror effect that can also render a few predefined graphics. There are downsides too, like the fact that the default fan speed on idle is deafening, requiring quite a bit of fine-tuning to get right, and the software doesn't necessarily make things easy. Another thing we would have liked to see is power connectors on the radiator, like Fractal Design uses on their Celsius, which is a godsend for cable management and overall neatness, a very important factor in really small enclosures like the Steck. It does a great job performance-wise, no critique on that, yet considering its price and the downsides above, we think there is far better value for money out there. Unless you really want the beautiful mirror design and customizable RGB, which we completely understand. Now, a few words about the build process itself. Due to the way the Steck is designed, it has to be significantly deconstructed to attach the top hat. So for all intents and purposes, that means a complete rebuild. We love to build PCs, so this was a treat for us. This would not be the case if you buy the hat from the start, but adding it later means rebuilding your PC completely, as opposed to, for example, the Ghost. If you're not the tinkering type, consider yourself warned. The case is built from the inside out, starting with the backbone on which the motherboard is mounted, and adding components around it. All things considered, we are pretty happy with how the build turned out, and the way it performs, as Lara demonstrates in her game benchmark, but as always, there is some room for improvement. It all comes down to what you are looking for in your SFF build. The Nouvolo Steck with its top hat offers you the right medium to get started. Just make sure you are aware that for a bit more, the Lock Ghost S1 or the NCase M1 are both options with significantly better build quality and quite a bit better compatibility, especially GPU wise. Till next time, stay safe friends.